Hello and welcome to this Project in a Box video. In this session we're going to be having a look at the new features in version 4.4 of our multi-user platform. Effectively that's for Small Team Edition, Enterprise Edition and Live Edition. So, taking these features in broad categories, we've been extending the browser app again. You can now do file management in the browser app, as well as being able to work on the files, check them out and check them in. You can delete them, recycle them, add new documents, remove documents, rename documents, run notifications as well against documents. So completing the set of things that you can also do in the Windows application. In the way that in the last version 4.3 you could now start editing your planner files directly online through the browser, you can now do the same with planner files for risks and issues as well as the plan information. So that means updating risks and issues, adding new ones, etc. And that completes effectively the ability to run planner functionality online through a browser as opposed to requiring the app to be installed. And you can also now do your reporting through directly to Word. You could always do reporting to browser, but you can now report directly to a Word file as well from the browser interface. And that's using again the same saved report specifications that you would use in the Windows application. We've also put in a major functional area which is adding project interdependencies. So you can now have a task within one project starting after a task within another project. You simply set up that link, and every time the first project is checked out and updated, it will then sync out the second project and update that accordingly, shifting its tasks along as required. And if there are any following projects from that, again they will ripple down, updating the project dependencies and the timelines for those various projects. So this means in a program situation where you've got some projects interacting with each other and things starting after other things, you can set that up. You can do multiple dependencies within that whole arrangement as well. So there's a whole load of functionality to set all that up, to manage that process and to let you know when you have any issues associated with that, like people working on plans when they need to be updated by the system, etc. Range of other things that have added in, of course. So we have a new selection capabilities to support users. So every time you select users, rather than just picking them from the list, you can use an advanced search, and that allows you to search on their email, their name. It also allows you to search on their role and organisation, and the role field is particularly interesting because it allows you to save tags. So against people in role, you can have that they're project manager, you can have where in the organisation they're based, any other skill attributes that they have, and you can then search for combinations of those. So you can look for all project managers in Belgium with SQL training, something of that type. So that applies to everywhere you're selecting users, from the permissions model to approvals to resource charts, etc. So you can use that in approvals to go and find the finance director, for example. We are now allowing you to group reports within the report specification. So your saved reports can have categories and notes associated with them. Makes it easier to find things when you're structuring through a long list. We have now people saving lots of different variant report specifications. And a new user report. So you can run a report which gives you, either for one user, a lot of detail about what they've been up to, when they've been logging on, how many files they've got, which projects they work on, etc. Or you can run it for multiple users and get back a grid of basic information about those users and their interactions with the system. So good for oversight, seeing how your licenses are being used, etc. And then we've also added a batch file edition. This means that rather than going through and adding your files one at a time into the project, if you've got a whole load of files to add, you can grab them, move them across and set that all up. You can do that into multiple different documents at different times, so you can batch up a whole transfer of files, and rather than happening one at a time, it's just essentially just storing the links to them, and then you can press run and it will cycle through them one at a time, doing those updates. And that means that you can set it all up and go off for your lunch while it's doing the actual additions, rather than having to wait and do them one at a time. So quite a few useful new things there. You'll be delighted to hear that that hasn't affected the pricing of Small Team Edition, Enterprise Edition or Live Edition. We've held that at the same level as we have done for a couple of years now. So if you want to take advantage of those features by adding extra users to your existing software, or indeed to buy the software for the first time, then you're welcome to do that, of course, through our website or directly in contact with us through a purchase order. Okay, so I hope you found that session useful. We're going to follow this brief overview with some more detailed videos taking in turn those functional groupings and showing you actually how that works. So look forward to joining us hopefully for those sessions. Thank you very much.